crowd the screen a little bit, that's okay. Hi, welcome to the Video Learning Enhancement Group. We'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about change in collection system education practices. The future has arrived for us in the way of smart technology. We're going to ask that you consider taking a little journey with us as we talk about embracing change and how our history of innovation and cooperation and collaboration needs to be kept alive in collection systems, because we're kind of the trailblazers, the benchmark, if you will, as far as groups that work well together. We rely on each other heavily. We're asking you to consider continuing that legacy. Now, what we're talking about here, it's not inventing, just kind of embracing. Smart technology already exists. We're just talking about trying to find a way of incorporating it into the way that we educate. So, lessons when you need them and where you need them. You're sitting in your truck, you're at home, you're on your lunch break, you're trying to learn something. You really can't be hauling around a couple of Ken Carey study guides. That's probably not too practical. It may take you a while to find what you're looking for. And if you do, sometimes you have to read a lot of text when you might be better served with some pictures or a little video clip. So what we're talking about is just bringing a proven format, embracing what we already know is a workable model, and taking the opportunity to let everybody contribute and everybody benefit. If everybody can put in and take out, we could have a heck of a program in short order. If you spent a lot of time developing training shorts, if you will, over the years, and you said, gee, you know what, I wish I had some other use for them. Well, guess what? This is it. How about those great presentations that you developed that you delivered at a CWA conference? Whatever became of those? Well, people tend not to watch things like that because they tend to be a little boring. YouTube exists and has the model it does because people want instant information, they want it targeted, they want it short, and they want to go right to it, and they want to get out. That's the YouTube model, and we want to take and tear out a page right out of their playbook and introduce it into our world. So, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to create a channel called SewerTube. That's what the heck that is. SewerTube will be a channel dedicated to collection system and maybe ultimately other disciplines, but that's the place that we will have a bunch of these training shorts reside. You know, there's a lot of similarities between what we have to know in one part of our business or another. And we could have a great storehouse full of information, we think, in very short order. Now, the variety of contributors could be everything from a collection system worker to a lab person to an engineer or a manager. There's something for everybody. We're looking to try to find a way of tapping in to all the different resources we have, to taking that person that has knowledge that's 1 inch wide and a mile deep. They've got a place just as much as somebody that's been in the business for 25 years, and they have a lot to share. Everybody's got something to contribute. So what's the framework? Well, we want to try to keep it simple, but not have a real rigid structure. We want to be creative, have a little bit of fun with it, but keep it within a structure. 5 to 6 minute lessons. Now, if it's math, it might take 10 minutes. That's okay. We understand. Other lessons, we think it's good business to keep them around 5 or 6 minutes. Now, if you already created a slide deck, And you go, well, you know, they got some great presentations that I just talked about, and it runs for an hour. We can use those, but we can use those in pieces. Take and cut that up into 10 mini lessons. Less is really more. And if you can go in there and you break it down into micro lessons, then basically you have lessons that are one bite at a time, targeted lessons. We're going to develop and share templates, checklists, and more examples as we go along. We're not going to try to dictate what your delivery style needs to be. We're going to let you make that call. And we're going to encourage you to leverage smart technology. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here today. I've got an old TV and a smartphone. It's about a 6 or 7 year old iPhone 3S, I think. Anyway, it's probably as old as some of the people in collections. And I think it's going to work well for this purpose. So you don't have to get fancy. You don't have to ask for money in your budget. You could probably pull a lot of this off just using simple, smart technologies. And you can take it, all those lessons, watch them on your laptop, your tablet, or your smartphone. Whatever works for you. We think it's important to try to keep this manageable. If you don't want to take and break down what you got, you don't want to modify, makes complete sense. We get that. You do what works for you. You don't have to buy any major equipment. Time commitment is really small. You can develop a lot of this stuff in 30 minutes, 60 minutes. You can easily turn out 2 or 3 of these a week playing around on your lunch hour. Smorgasbord, that's the effect we're looking for. One bite at a time. Give us a classification, a theme, and a subtopic. That tells us where to put things. And again, keep it to 10 slides, so it's a minimal thing. And then put in a resource slide. Tells people where to go for additional information. Keep it brief. So if you got a theme, you got the identifier that tells you what it is, that tells us where it goes. You give those references that look in the Ken Carey Study Guide, number 2 for collection systems, pages 355 through 358, or whatever it is, OSHA, and you cite that reference so the people that are watching know where to go for additional information or even just a confirmation. So with that basic checklist and that template and your style and a little bit of smart technology, you can easily be producing something like this. Something better, I hope. So, final thoughts here. Well, you know what? We think this can come together rather quickly. We also think that everybody's got a role. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what your level of knowledge is. Everybody's got a little subject matter expertise inside of them. You just need to find your spot. So where do you fit in? We're not going to try to dictate to you what that is. We're not going to try to tell you what your district or your organization should be contributing. But it doesn't matter who you are, including if you're a vendor. You've got a role in this. We've got something here for everybody. So I'm going to ask you to watch the videos. And with that, on behalf of my colleagues, Sam Rose, Lenny Rather, and Christopher Brown, I'll thank you for your time. Now if that fucking thing clicked out, I'm going to be pissed. It didn't.